Hello, 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 hello. I am back. I know, twice in one day. This is going to be the best day ever. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. I am super excited, like I said this morning. If you were able to catch me, if you didn't, you should probably go watch it. But if not, this is the better place for you to be because we're talking social media. So after this, just to let you know, after this training, I will be posting several things. One will be a social media calendar, which I previewed this morning. I will show you again because I just love you so much. Let me pull it back up actually. This will be pinned to the top of the page. There we go. Okay. This is going to be pinned to the top of the page for you. It's going to make a heck of a lot more sense when you do the trainings, of course. So let you know, this is going to be an all month long thing. There will be a post about the social media challenge. Here's your thing. If you want to just take it and run, go for it. I think many of you are doing a fantastic job. There will also be a daily thing. So every single day, like, so today is new month positive quote. These are all for personal page. Like across the board, personal pages, personal pages, personal page, personal page. With that, every day I'm going to have a single like post about it, give you some ideas and stuff. I'm not going to give you scripts because I don't think we should be copy and pasting everything. You want to make authentic content to you and you don't have to complicate it. And that's what I want to show you this month is once you start doing it and making the habits, which we're going to talk about in a second, it really is incredible. So every day there's going to be a post to go with the actual quote unquote day that is assigned in this calendar. So look for that if you need help. You're going to have the calendar today. I'm going to be doing this training, which is kind of about why looking at yourself, doing an inventory, like it's kind of like the first step. Tomorrow will be on pitching, which is all, there's going to be a 4-week segment on pitching for each week. There's going to be a different way of pitching every single week, as well as your pillars, which might be something you really need help with in order to make great content and be consistent on social media. So there's lots of pieces to the puzzle. It's going to be amazing. This week there will be 3 trainings. Next week there will be at least 1 training on pitching. And then later in the month, I plan to do some Zoom calls. I haven't planned what days yet. I'm kind of waiting to see, again, my daughter's surgery. But I do plan to do 1 or 2 Zoom calls where you're going to be able to jump on, ask me anything, and we can like talk about kind of how it's going and stuff like that and kind of have an open discussion, which I thought was going to be super fun. So hello, hello, hello. Here we go. So social media, just to give you a little bit of background, I grew my entire business on social media, literally entire business. All right. Absolutely 100% hands down. I am a social media made seller. All right. I did not go into do in-home parties. I did not, do in-home. I don't do vendor events. That's just not in the North. It's kind of just not the way it is anyways, at least where I lived. So I made it all through social media. I use different forms, different, platforms and stuff like that. But I've completely made myself and built this career on social media, majority on Facebook, some on Instagram, a lot on actual YouTube back in the day. I did a bunch of YouTube stuff, which was another platform that we used a lot more. It's ever changing and ever evolving. So I think that is the one thing I need to put out there. Why do you use social media? Okay, so if you're running a VIP page in Facebook, awesome. Majority of us are. You want to continue to grow and build your network, you have to be active on social media in other ways. Now, it shouldn't take up all this time in the world. It shouldn't do all these things, right? So I really want you to think about what is your social media doing? A, it's allowing people to see you, see who you really are, because people buy you. Hands down, they're going to buy you. And to provide value, okay? You're really looking to provide value. So I want you to ask yourself, hold on. Let me go back. Oh, and the biggest thing, why do people fail at social media is this consistency. So I was listening to a podcast this morning and it was talking about needing better habits. And you want to make it an auto response. You want to make social media. So what has made me successful in social media, sorry, I'm uncomfortable, is being consistent overall, but also creating those habits and making it just kind of part of my day, part of my schedule, you know, booking it in there, making it a habit. How are you going to create that? Making it an auto response is consistency. Okay. You have to change behaviors. You have to do it consistently. We all know it takes 3 weeks to create a habit, 3 months to create a lifestyle. It could not be more true. So want to put that out there. Before I go into the social media. Oh, I love this quote. This is what I wanted to share with you. The cost of good habits are in the present. So it costs you, you know, it takes time, whatever, building these habits. The cost of bad habits are in your future. So think about that. Allowing bad habits to continue, you might not see the outcome of them now, but long term, you're not going to see, you know, it's something that ever growing. You're going to one day wake up and you're going to think all these insignificant things like posting once a day. You're like, how is this really helping my business? Nobody really responds. Nobody, whatever, da 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 da. And you're going to wake up 2 years from now and realize that you've hit your goal. And that was a piece of that step. So sometimes people think that it's not an important step. I couldn't push more that how important it truly is. So we want to provide value, right? So I want you to ask yourself, all right, if you want to do the social media thing, you have to ask yourself. I don't care if you're a guru or if you're great or if you literally don't post on social media but once a month. What is your goal? What is your social media goal? Okay, so what is your social? These are what you're going to ask yourself. And write it down. Think about these things, you know, after you get off the live. What is your social media goal? Is it engagement? Is it to help your algorithm? Is it to grow your network? Is it all of the above? So you need to look at what are you looking at for social media? What is your actual goal in doing more on social media? How do you want to use it in your business? All right. And who is your audience? I think that's another big thing. Sometimes we don't talk to our audience. All right. You need to be talking to the people that you're trying to attract, right? People like you, whatever, like, who's your audience? Really look at that. Now, something I always do when people come to me and I work with them on their social media and do all the things, I take what I call like an audit of their social media. But I'm going to have you audit yourself because I clearly can't audit all of you, but you also need to be, you need to be proactive. So here's some things I want you to look at. I want you to go on your social media platforms. First, I want you to decide which platforms you're going to use. You know, make sure you know, like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to concentrate on Facebook, or I'm going to do this on Facebook and Instagram. There's no wrong answer. This is the social media is you. Or I want to continue to work on TikTok and Facebook. Awesome. Again, there's no real wrong answer here. It's what you want to do. Now, what platforms are you going to use? What platforms are you already currently on, I should say? I want you to look at how often are you posting and write it down. Like, I want you to look at your personal page. How many times did you post in the last 30 days? How many times did you post in the last 7 days? Look at that, okay? What's working? What's not working? Did you post some pictures of your animals and you got lots of insight? Did you post engagement posts and get lots of likes? Did you post a color sheet photo and get 1 like? Look at that. What's working? What's not working? This is very important. So while you're looking at these, look at these posts. Are you putting stock pictures up or more organic, real life pictures? You know, are you just throwing out basic content, or are you taking real life photos? You know, you're not posting just a cup of coffee, be like, oh, I love coffee. No, you're taking a picture of yourself holding a coffee cup, talking about what a boss you are, okay? Or, you know, you're not talking about your nails, but your nails are holding your coffee. You know, like, that's just those little simple changes. Are you making a picture of yourself? Or are you just posting a Starbucks cup and being like, had coffee today? That's not a bad thing. But people also want to see you. How much are you visible? How much are you visible in your post? Very important. Okay. All right. And then ratio. I want you to look at the ratio of your business post to your personal post, because it's an 80-20 rule. I even did it in here. I color coded it in your calendar so you can see how many Color Street posts, because some of them are doubled, like some are an engagement post and a Color Street post. Some of them are a pitch and a Color Street post. But I wanted to show you how I broke Color Street down in social media so you see the amount that I did it. It's once a week, but it's, you know, it's again closer to that 20% mark should be where you're at. So you're not, you know, Pamela spam a lot. We don't need that, right? Nobody needs that. Fantastic. So let's talk about some best practices. This is going to be a very generic, again, very generic. I want you to, the step one is you have to do an inventory of yourself. Hello. You have to do the inventory. So do that inventory. Answer those questions. Really, I bet you that you're going to be surprised on some of them. Now I'm going to tell you some best practices and stuff. And then tomorrow, again, we're going to be working on pitching and then pillars and actual making content on Thursday. So this is like a 3-part this week. So I did look up maybe 1,000 million different articles to find out when is the best time to post on Facebook specifically. And there is multitudes of answers, but the overall average of answers was 2 different times. It's between 9 and 12 Eastern. I want to be very clear on that. 9 and 12 Eastern and 1 and 3 Eastern. The middle of the week is the most, gets the most traffic. Wednesday gets the absolute most traffic. Tuesday, Thursday, second most. Sunday is the least amount of traffic. Okay, so something to think about. That's big. Why am I telling you these times? Do you need to make it perfect and post in those time frames? No. But posting at 11 p.m. at night, which I've been guilty of many times, posting at 6 a.m., I am not guilty of that. It's not going to get you the right algorithm. You're not going to get the most bang for your buck. And here's why. Because if you're posting at 6 a.m., and your audience doesn't really get moving, okay, so your friends, they get to work, they get to their desk, they get settled, now their boss is in a meeting and they're kind of sitting there, or they're the boss and they're like, you know what, I need 5 minutes, I'm gonna check Facebook right now or take a break. They're not gonna be on till 9:30, maybe even 10 o'clock when they get on. You're pushed so far back from all those posts that came in from 6 o'clock, you're pushed back. Okay, so that's really, really big. Yes, those times. See, you get lots of likes. And so I also want to prove that with, hold on. Yeah, those 6 a.m. man. No, so there is no 6 a.m. for Monica. But here's the thing. You also need to find your audience. Now, there is always exceptions to these rules. We have one. I know a woman, she's fantastic. She's on here when she posts, but her network and audience is up at that time. She posts at 6 o'clock and gets great engagement, which is fantastic if that works for her. If I post at 6 o'clock, ain't nobody going to see it. Even 8 o'clock sometimes is too early for me to post because I get excited and I post and it doesn't get like, I'm like, oh, I should have waited 2 hours. I'm impatient. I get excited. So really thinking about that. If you have the possibility of posting anytime between like that 9 to 12 or 12 to 3 o'clock, and you're going to find the difference. I also find I do really well if I post something after like 7:30 at night because people are putting their kids to bed. They're starting to look at their phones, they've had dinner, they've done the activities, they're doing all the things, and now they're sitting down and decompressing and they're opening their social media platform. So evening has always been a great time for me, that like 7:30 to 9:15 slot is also really good for me personally. You're only going to find out by trying different things. And some of you are going to say to me, Monica, I can't post between 9 and 3. I am at a job. And I absolutely understand that. And if that is the case, again, find what works for you. It might be 3:30 right when you get out. It might be 5:30. All right. You have to know your audience. You're going to have to try. There is going to be some trial and error. You will find what works for you. I know Thursday nights are the best night for me. Wednesday might be the best day. Wednesday middays, across the board, the best day to post on Facebook. For Monica, it's Thursday. It's Thursday, at 8 o'clock. That's what I've always had the best results for. Schedule your post, but you cannot schedule your post on your personal page. We are only, this is personal, guys. This is not your VIP. So you cannot schedule personal posts. You can't unless you have a platform. unless you pay a third party, which doesn't help your algorithm. Social media, this is about your personal social media across the board. Prefacing it with that again. This is not in your Facebook group, even remotely. You can use all this stuff in your Facebook group, but this is about your social media, working your personal page. Because if you have a VIP page and you're not working your personal page, you're not getting the most bang for your buck. Doesn't happen. Not going to happen. So, some best practices. Post once a day, maximum twice a day. Quality, not quantity. Don't be an over poster. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help you. They're going to put you to the back of the line. Zuck is going to take you and throw you right behind him. Nobody's going to see anything you're posting. If you're posting 3, 4, 5, 7 times a day on your personal page, don't do it. No, 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 no. And yes, this is specifically on your personal page. All right. Don't push people to other sites. Huge rookie mistake is we have links, right? You can go to Color Street to buy our stuff. You have to put that. I know many of you know this, but I want to make sure everybody knows this is 101. You have to put any kind of hyperlink in your comments of your post. Do not put it in your main post. You will go to the back of the bus, like back of the line, like you're going to the back of the line. They don't want you taking, so why would Facebook want you to post a link and allow people to leave and go to another different place where other advertisements or whatever? Their goal is to keep you on Facebook, because the more you're on Facebook, the more they get paid with their advertisers. So they're making money off of you seeing their Facebook ads. Once you leave, they're not making money. Facebook is a money business. Okay, it's about making money. You have to post all hyperlinks in your comments. You have to. You can take them to your, even if it's to go to your VIP page. It just doesn't like it. Doesn't like it. Put all of them by default in your comments. Okay? Share the link. Share the link. Share the link. Join me. Do this. Whatever you're doing, please put it in your comments, because I don't want you to work. You work so hard. You do these great posts, and then you get nothing, and you're like, ugh. And a lot of times it's just those simple little things. All right. Make sure all your posts are public. Okay. You're like, what? I need you to go when you're doing your audit. You need to go see what are your posts set to. And you're like, well, how do I know? I'm going to tell you right now. So I'm going to go to Monica and show you. So you can see, hold on, like all kinds of stuff up. Yep. Okay. So if you go to your post right here, if you see a little world, it means you're public. Okay. If you want to change it, you can change that and all that. So knowing that you can change those, you should set it across the board for public. Now here's where these are for you. Few reasons why. A couple things to think about. If it's public, everybody can see it. So that means people can share it. If you have a post and somebody shares it, if the other people aren't friends with you and it's friends only, they're not going to be able to see your content. Okay. I had people share that exact post I just showed you. I had people share that this morning, right? With that, no one would have seen it. Now people have seen it. They're like, oh, it comes from Monica. And they're going to click onto you. Okay, so there's one thing. There's one reason why. It'll reach more people. If you use things like hashtags in your post, it only makes sense if you are public. If your post is private, hashtags mean absolutely squat. On Instagram and on Facebook, across the board. If you're set to private and you're putting hashtags, you are wasting your time. You need to go do something else, because if you're private, you're not going to get into people aren't going to be able to find you. If they search motivation, or they search nail polish, and you're hashtagging nail polish, but you have a private account, guess what? They ain't going to find you. They're not. It's a waste of your freaking time. I know, so there are exceptions to this. Also, I hear this all the time. Well, all my Facebook stuff is public. Or not my Facebook, I'm sorry. All my Color Street stuff is public. Exactly. So when people go to look at you and check you out, because if you think people don't stalk you when you have nail bars and stuff, they're going to go look at who the host is. They're going to click on your profile. If they just see Color Street, Color Street, Color Street, they're going to think, ugh, this is all she's about. There's nothing they don't know anything about you. A. B, they're going to think you're Pamela Spamela, even though you might be posting once a week about Color Street. All they can see is Color Street. All your posts need to be public. Here's the exceptions. There are 2 exceptions. Number 1, I will never, ever, ever promote that you need to make the pictures of your children public. I know how people feel about that. I'm not asking you to do that. You can still put yourself as a mom boss and make everything public without showing your kids' faces. Okay? Huge. Number 2, safety. I know. And also some people have adopted children. If you're in like foster care and stuff, I know you can't show their faces. I would never ask you to show your children. Like, that's your choice. I show mine. That's my choice. You show yours, that you made them, you chose them. That's on you. You don't need to show your kids. Everything needs to be public. It doesn't have to be your kids' faces, but everything else does. And you can still be a mom and show things without showing them. So trust me, because I have many moms that have done it. Number 2 is safety. If you work in law enforcement, if you work in certain types of jobs, I do know that you don't have the same privacy level, or it could be a safety factor. So if that is the case, and that, you know what, most people that have that, they message me and we try to find workarounds as best we can. Okay. And there is that. Those are very extreme exceptions. Okay. The kids can't be the excuse, because you don't need to show your kids. Okay. You can show your kids to your friends only. You can still post them for your family and friends. You can change those posts. Everything else needs to be public. Has to be. Don't be Pamela Spamela. Don't hide. They want you. You know why I'm here? Because people bought me. People chose me. Mental health issues, 300 pounds, absolutely out of my mind, getting a divorce, getting remarried, doing all the things. They were there for it. I didn't hide it. I was who I was. You get what you get. Like, if you don't like it, that's okay. There's millions of people, billions of people in the world. And that's the way you have to look at it. So, don't push them to other sites. Make sure it's public. Stories help. Go watch the stories training. It's still, put your stories up every day if you can. We're not going to work on that this month. This month's very much going to be on your personal Facebook page and can be used on Instagram, but mostly personal Facebook page, the social media month. But just so you know, stories will help your overall algorithm in your VIP page and your personal page. Thanks, Samantha. I appreciate it. Also, this is a fact. Inspirational and positive content will get better. Will get better results. Don't think that fun clickbait is going to get you. No. You don't have to be toxically positive. Nobody needs that. Okay? Nobody needs that either. That's not what I'm saying. I know what the world is. I know what's happening in the world today. I get it. I do. I try to not to, but you can't kind of not watch some of the stuff in the world. But it doesn't mean you have to continue to fill the world with negative crap. Complaining. Oh, my neighbor's dog pooped in my lawn. Nobody wants to hear that, Karen. They don't. I got to tell you, nobody wants to. They want to think about, oh my God, I love that I get to work with my dog on my lap. I get to be here and have a roof over my head and happiness with my dog at my feet. That's what they want to hear. They don't want to hear about your neighbor's dog. They don't want to hear about that, okay? I promise you, you are not going to, overall, you're not going to build a brand. You're not going to build a following. You're not going to build, people are not going to. I had major depression and didn't get out of bed for nearly a year before I started direct sales. People knew I was depressed, but I also tried to, even with it's how you present things. I don't want you to hide who you are. I never hid who I was, but there's a way to do it. Okay? I thought somebody had to like the Karen thing. I expected more. You guys are sleeping still. It's nap time. It's siesta time. I know. I never train at this time. This is a hard one. But I have so many trainings tonight, I couldn't do it tonight. So I know you guys are watching that replay. Make sure you're hashtagging that you're still with me here. Okay. So, personal stories. are big. Sharing personal stuff, meaningful tips, value. That's the kind of stuff you want to think of on your page. All right. Q&A to share pain points, maybe about your product, maybe about some of your pillars. That's an engagement post. Okay. Meaningful tips on different things like nail care, which we're going to need. They're going to need those meaningful tips on why it's so important, even on your personal page. That is bringing value. If you know how to cook something amazingly, you need to share that on social media. You're bringing value to somebody. You're teaching them something. You're helping them learn something. You're getting their interest. Okay, if you know how to do something, you need to show them that you know how to do it. Whatever it is. You want to become, and I get this completely from Kristen Boss, you need to become, and we're going to talk about this with the pillar stuff and content in very much detail, but you have to become, you need to make yourself the expert in your pillars. You're expert in who you are. You need to be that expert. You don't need to be technically an expert in your business. You need to be an expert on who you are. And with that, what do experts do? They bring value. They teach. They have greatness. They share. That's what you're going to do, okay? It's going to be so much fun. Don't be afraid to go live. Don't go live too long. Make it short and sweet. Sometimes the shorter the better. You know, not 10 seconds. It's not a reel, but a couple minutes is great. Okay, you go on your personal page for 20 minutes. People probably aren't going to watch for 20 minutes. You guys don't even watch me for 20 minutes here most of the time. All right. Go, oh, when you do your audit, go look at your thing. If it is not your face, you see this? Hold on. Sorry, you're getting the double chin. This needs to be clear and needs to be your face. If this is not your face, you need to change that. Don't even do any of the other stuff if this is not you. Can you have you and your dog? Can you have you and your man? Can you have you and your kids? Fine. As long as they know you are you and they're not like, ooh, which one is she? Is she this one or is she that one? People need to know who you are. You love your sisters? Put them here. You love your kids? Put them here. You love your dogs? Put them here. You love your flowers? Put them here. You love yourself? You start right here. You go here. Everything else goes there. Get that? I love these creatures. But that's where your profile, that's your profile picture. It needs to be a picture of you that is clearly you. Not 700 feet away and you're like, is that a woman? Is she wearing, she looks like she's wearing black. No, you shouldn't be squinting to see you. Okay, you. Yeah, my creatures, my gremlins, my little children, my little creatures. Okay, some other things, if you want to take it a step further and you haven't done these things, adding stuff like a little mini bio. This is like your cover letter. Think about it like this. It's very much your brand. So happiness chooser, mompreneur, mental health warrior, my person, Disney. All right, some little info that's, you know, here and there. I like to put the little pictures. This is not necessary, but just some stuff like that. So something to think about. This is great, having this intro here to give them a little bit about you. All right, but the number one thing, if you could change anything, make sure your stuff is public. Go do an inventory, see how much you posted. Go see what's worked and what's not. You know, look at it. What's worked, what's not worked. You have to start there. You have to do an inventory of yourself. That's where I start with anybody. Anybody I'm coaching or helping with social media, it starts with that. I have to go in and do an inventory. And usually anybody who's struggling in their business, I start on their personal page. Because why are people going to have nail bars with you if they don't know anything about you? Why are people, do they know that what your why is? That you're trying to get out of debt? That you're trying to put $100 towards debt every month so that you can now go on vacations with your kids with cash? Do they know that about you? Do they know that vacations are important to you? I doubt it. If you're not putting it out there, they're not mind readers. All right. And it's simple. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. You can always change it. You can always change the intro. I change mine all the time. I always have like one thing that's always floating in and out. Like, oh, I'm in a Disney mood. Oh, I'm in a this mood. Like, I have like my one rotating one. I friend everybody, Tasha. I believe in friending anybody who buys from me, anybody who is active in a nail bar, anybody on my VIP page. I'm pretty sure I'm friends with 90% of my VIP. My VIP page isn't big because I archived my big old one a while ago and just have a nice little one. But yes, I do believe in friending your VIPs, friending your customers, friending people in nail bars that are active. They might not actually buy from you, but if they're active and they're interacting with you, like on post and commenting and whatever, you should be in their DMs and say thank you so much for being, you know, active and commenting and asking questions. I so appreciate it. And then friend them, you know, friend them with like simultaneously. So yes. So Diane, pillars we're going to really talk about, but your pillars need to be in your social media. Here, I'm going to show you the calendar really fast again. I keep getting rid of it, taking it down because it's actually was made on a phone. So here we go. Just to show you guys real quick. So here's a quote, nice and easy. We're going to have pitch training tomorrow and you're going to do your first fun pitch. I'm going to explain this to you very much. This is going to be an engagement post, okay? Something positive about your day, post a picture. Again, try to do a lot with photos. You know, make sure there's a photo, not lots of photos. One photo is great. All right, show your day. Are you relaxing, watching sports, housework, you know, hibernating, catching up on sleep, running around, doing all the errands, doing Target and Starbucks? Show your day. Show what you're doing. Show who you are, okay? Self-care, very important. Manny Monday, this is an engagement wearing. Now we start our pillars. Every week, your pillars. Pillar 1, Pillar 2, Pillar 3, Pillar 4, Pillar 5, Pillar 1. So you don't have to do it in this exact order, but it's kind of just show you you're doing your different pillars. You need to make sure it's across the board. And your pillars are very important that you have pillar posts in there. But many of these things are going to probably, like this one, might have your pillar. This could be part of one of your pillars. Sunday Fun Day, you know, like these, they overlap, if that makes sense. Your pillars very much... You know, like, so first day of spring, and I'm going to give examples for all these days, but this might be, tell me your favorite flower. What's your favorite thing about spring? What's your favorite jeans or ripped jeans because it's spring and now I can wear jeans again? You know, like, so this could be very much around your brand. And that's what you're going to see. There's a lot of these you start picking and they're around your brand. So just, hold on. My desk, there we go, here I am. So yes, no, I reuse them all over the place. So Kylie, if I post something on Facebook, even if I don't post it the same day, I will always use it on Instagram. What I use on Instagram, I will usually always use on Facebook. And I oftentimes will take my personal stuff, even though I know I'm friends. Now, here you go. I just said I'm friends with most of my VIP page. I will post the same exact thing in my VIP page as I do in my personal page. And I'll put it in my story too. And here's why. Because if they see that post in all three places, that means you're doing something really good. Because very often people are going to see it in one and not the other. And that's called the Facebook algorithm. They're going to have a better chance of seeing it if you have it in three places. So, you know, you change a word or two or whatever, but really I use it across the board. Smarter, not harder. Smarter, not harder. Everything you use on your personal page, you can use in your VIP page. That's something I believe. Engagement post, pillar post, self-care. Every single thing on this social media calendar you can use in your VIP page. It's a 2-for-1. It truly is. We're going to talk about that, Dawn. Pillar training is Thursday. Pillar training. This was made, Dawn, I didn't make this. Zoe made it. Well, I made the colors. I color coded it. I made it and color coded it. She made it beautiful. And then I color coded it over hers. She makes everything. We make everything in over though, usually. It's called GoDaddy now or something stupid, but it was the Over app. That's what we use. She basically, I think, took a blank sample calendar from like Google, typed in all my content, then put it on a background, gave it to me, and then I color coded it and made sure everything was coded correctly. And I just put little, then I did that part in over as well. So yeah, Dawn A, we will be doing pillars in detail. There's lots of stuff on here. I've done a lot of pillar posts, a lot of pillar training, Dawn. So there is stuff if you're impatient, but we're going to do that all on Thursday. All right, that's why if you notice on the calendar, pillars don't start until next week. Technically, like, do a pillar post. So super excited. It's going to be great. I am going to go get all this stuff for you to have. So you have this calendar. You can start planning ahead. You can start looking. Then I will be putting up the post. You know, today's very easy. It's a new month positive quote. Go find one right now. You don't need to see that. I'm going to put that up there, but go find a positive quote. Put something positive out into the world today. It's a new month, new start, fresh start. You don't have to say it's about your business. You don't have to. Just go out there and put positivity in the world, because it's going to come back to you. And when in doubt, do that. Okay, when in doubt, when you're like, I don't know what to post, just post something positive. Because even if you're having a bad day and you're putting positive into the world, you're going to get that back. You're going to get it back threefold one day. I am a complete example of that. When I would have a bad day, when I would feel broken, when I would want to quit direct sales, when I would just be like, I can't do this, I'm failing in all accounts, I would get on live and start giving stuff away, or start getting on and just talking to people and complimenting them and putting goodness out into the world. And it worked every time. And it continues to work every time. When I'm struggling is when I'm not putting good into the world. That's how I do that's why personal development is so huge. So, Kylie, technically, there was not one for February. But I'm looking at my calendar and seeing what I can work out. There's going to be something good. There'll be something good for BQ people. I don't know exactly what it's going to look like. It's a tight month for me because I'm traveling to see people in person and stuff. Don't quote me. We'll see what I can come up with. It might be a little bit later in the month. I like to do it within the first week to give like, you guys did it, you get something. It's not going to probably happen in the first week, but maybe mid-month. So keep an eye out. I'm always trying to put a little bit more in there. So anywho, if you have questions after you watch this, please ask. All right, I will keep checking back. Watch the replay, tag your team, share it in your team chats and all that stuff. Go ahead and share it. It is crucial. There's not a ton on here, but I want them to know what is coming. Tomorrow is pitching. Thursday is pillars. And it's going to be a flippin' fantastic month.